Hello there! I've got the first 4 books of the new Rockschool Acoustic Guitar Syllabus. Ordered yesterday, arrived today, so well done to these people for being efficient. I'm very interested to see how this is going to relate to the electric guitar exams and what it might suggest in terms of the future for those. Also interested to see how it might relate to the alternative acoustic exam that exists. There is another variety. So I'm going to have a quick look right in front of your very eyes. Obviously beautifully produced books as we're used to. Nice pictures on the front. Okay, a little bit longer than the electric guitar exams. There's a page of technical guidance after it. Just a few words really compared with perhaps what we're used to, and then a kind of preamble telling you what it's about and what the kind of where the piece is from, who wrote it, and all the rest of it. So the first one, this is Foo Fighters. Looks you're just playing a tune. You could play it on pretty well anything. Snow Patrol, Chasing Cars. Okay, we have 2 assessed parts. They're both marked assessed. And one of them's basically chords and then the vocal tune, and the other one's the famous kind of alternating note riff. That's 2 pages long. Chords are nice and easy. Coldplay Yellow also got 2 assessed parts. One of them's the melody, the other one's nice easy chords. Except right by the end we've got 3 string bars. I suppose you could do them with 3 different fingers on the 4th fret and the 2nd fret. Van Morrison, Brown Eyed Girl. Okay, here, and then they've got the lyric added to it. That's one of the things I'm going to be interested to see. There's mention of there being vocalists involved. Obviously these are certainly the tracks on the tracks listed, they're all existing well-known kind of commercial songs. So it would be quite cool if they've all got vocals. I don't think possibly they all have. Here what we're doing in Brown Eyed Girl is playing the vocal tune. That's it. It's pretty quick, quite sophisticated rhythms. Beyoncé. Here basically what we're doing is playing chords but also the tune at the same time. So the chords are kind of built into the tune or vice versa if you like. And there's an interesting thing. In the electric guitar Rockschool, if you think about it, when we do a G chord, it's the simple G, just the top 4 strings. And here they're actually asking for the full G chord with the 2nd string, 3rd fret. So that's a bit of a new thing. They're also asking for the full C chord. The song's fairly slow, and these chords are all fairly long. You've got bags of time to get into them, like that. What else have we got? We've got No Woman No Cry. Again, we're playing the vocal of the we're playing the melody of the vocal line, as it were. And my eye immediately jumps on an F major bar chord. This is debut, remember? Now they don't want the 1st string. My 2nd string was buzzing. That's really going to test a lot of debut candidates, I think. And also I think you probably find you'd have to play it with fingers, otherwise you're almost certain to catch the 1st string as well. And so I think you find it's the same system for the grade exam. We play 3 tracks. The grade exam is a mixture of, you're required to play 3 pieces, where you've got the performance certificate obviously where you can play 5. And then it does mention the thing of the assessed parts, so I presume with the backing tracks there'll be different backing tracks for the 2 assessed parts, leaving out the one you'd be doing in the exam. Let's have a look at the supporting tests. Slightly a bit of a shame, but at the end there's no preview of the next grade up as you had with the electric books. There's just lots of promotion of other books and copyright information. So, I know ear tests, familiar things, melodic recall, chord recognition, whether it's major or minor. Look what I found. Sight reading, well, it's the same thing as before. You can do sight reading or you can do an improvisation and interpretation. It's up to you. It does say once you've decided you cannot change your mind. But the big news is that the sight reading is notation only. There's no tablature there. And in fact, again, bearing in mind this is the debut book I'm looking at, this sight reading as a sight reading test is probably a bit harder than you'd have for grade 1 associated board classical guitar. So what they're looking for would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't give a speed actually, I was just kind of counting along. So that's going to cause a certain amount of interest. I suspect a lot of people coming into this, and obviously especially if they're not particularly strong readers but they're jumping into one of the higher grades, they may well decide to do the improvisation and interpretation one. Certainly most of the people I work with these prefer the sight reading precisely because with the tablature it's easy. Be interesting to see if that feature crops up in the electric guitar syllabus from 2018, wouldn't it? Certainly one of the things I quite often find colleagues kind of complain about with the Rockschool approach is a lot of people, a lot of players, if they've done the high grade like grade 8 and they're brilliant at playing very complicated sort of jazz fusion things in weird time signatures, but they can't sight read in first position in C major like the debut was just here. Let's just have a look and see what this is. The grade 3 book I'm looking at here, and the sight reading, there's an A major one, 4 bars long, and there's E flat major. Goodness me, fancy sight reading in E flat major. Again, those, well, it's only a single line melody, remember, but those are, again, those are harder than the equivalent associated board classical exams sight readings would be, certainly in terms of the key signatures. Interesting things, where did I spot it before, with the scales. There's loads and loads of scales, but they're not all just going up and down like a normal scale. Some of these are going to go up and they go down, some of them go down and they go up, so obviously it's a more kind of musical thing. Oh goodness me, what song's this? This is the last one in the book, and this is Rockschool Flats, Bless the Broken Road, tongue twister as well, and it is not 2 pages long, not 4 pages long, it's 6 pages long, and there's no way you can just turn the page easily. Well, you'd have to be really quick at the end of the first one. You could memorise the last bar there. Be interesting to see how many people choose to do a 6-page one. I wonder how long the previous one is. The previous one is 6 pages. Maybe they're all 6 pages. No, here we've got Aerosmith, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Looks way easier, goodness me, and it's even really, really slow. It's 2 pages long with a repeat. And the other thing you notice immediately, you hold the book, there's no CD in it. So there is in fact a download code. Input the following code when prompted. I guess a lot of people would say they don't really own a CD player anymore, or if they do, they're going to be putting it in as MP3s into a tablet of some kind or something along those lines, so I guess that's fair enough. As we said, though, the books are still the kind of old price, even though they're not having to pay to have a CD printed and installed in the book. So anyway, downloads only for the audio. Well, hope you found that interesting. I shall be having a look at these later on today, and I'll make a couple more videos about some of the other things going on here. But basically on the first sight of these things, bearing in mind it's a brand new syllabus, I think it was new people Yeah, not many of the old familiar names. Basically the only familiar name would be the music engraving and book layout by Simon Troop, or Trope, or whatever it is. But all the performers and the arrangers and stuff are kind of new people. So yeah, I don't recognise any of those names. On the face of it, this looks harder than the electric guitar one does. Certainly some of it is. Whether it all is or not, I don't know. And I'm not being particularly making a value judgment there. It's just an observation on first view. So tell me what you think about all of that, and do look out for the performance videos which will come up shortly.